Here at Franchise City, the vast majority of calls we receive from investors are for Subway, gas stations, or a 7-Eleven franchise. Now, all of us here are also franchise and business owners ourselves, but you can look on our About Us page how many of us own any of those three franchises. The answer is 0, and I'll leave that to your imagination why. Now, I did once know a broker who owned a gas station. It was in a great location, was worth about $2 million a year annually. So let me begin by saying if you can afford a gas station in a great location, and these don't come up very often because they're very, very good, strong money makers, but if you can find a good one, you can consider buying it. It could be a good investment. But good location and good traffic gas stations are rare and typically will be selling in the 1 million plus range. Now, what people are usually calling us about here, however, is one of those great deals that they saw on Biz Buy Sell or a similar business for sale website. And you can see here, I'll show you on the screen how many are for sale, some of them as low as $13,000. And armed with exactly zero business knowledge, these folks speak with the sellers who tell them how much potential there is in the business and how they have to sell because they have a sick parent back home or they have another business that they have to take care of. But this, for the right person, is a gold mine. It's generally the same story. For you, you're going to make a ton of money. We can't, but you will. Now you, the buyers, light up and you write a check thinking about, wow, I'm going to own this gas station. I'll go off on vacations around the world while my gas station at home is earning me millions of dollars. Now, once you actually invest your money, start working in the station, you discover the downsides of running a gas station. We hear this all the time. Well, hopefully here I can give you the other side of the story, the potential negatives. And we hear these many times from people who've purchased the gas station and then approach us afterwards trying to sell the business, often at a loss. So the seller gave you all of the good news. Now let's give you the bad news, and then you can make your own decision, your educated decision from there. Let's start with a really interesting statistic. According to the NACS 2017 Retail Fuels Report, 59%, almost 60% of gas stations in the U.S. are one-owner operated. They own one store, and often that store is attended to by the owner. Now, that type of business is what we call buying a job. The owners aren't working in the business because it makes so much money, they just love doing it. They're working there because they have to. There isn't enough money to install another person. Also interesting to note is that most major oil companies have sold off all or most of their holdings in fuel stations. Now, do you think you, as a small business buyer, have more market knowledge than the best business minds hired by the big oil companies? No. Big oil is getting out of gas stations, and that should be a warning sign as well as the huge number of single store owner operators. Many of these are struggling businesses, just having purchased a jobs, very low margins in fuel that we're going to look at in a moment. So let's start off with that. The number one negative that you'll have to face as a gas station owner is low margins. And here is a great infographic we'll show on the screen from the Orange County Register on where $50 that is spent at the pump goes. We've got $30.75 to the oil company, $7 to the refineries, $6 on taxes, $4 to the delivery company, $1.25 on processing and transaction fees. And finally, right at the end of the chain is you get $1. And that number can and does change, sometimes even lower. Many owners that we hear from, and we read the forums online, suggest about 1 to 3 cents net per gallon. And if you visit these forums or you speak with actual owners, many will tell you that the gas is just a way to get people into your location. And the majority of money is actually made on cigarettes, soft drinks, coffee, and snack foods. But a huge problem today is that more and more gas buyers are paying with their credit cards at the pump, not even entering into the store. That makes it even less profitable. But you're still going to have walk-in traffic. That leads us to the next reason, rough customers. Now let's face it, most of these cheap gas stations are located in less than desirable neighborhoods, and they're open 24 hours a day. Come on. Gas stations are frequented, let's face it, very often by some interesting people, and particularly in the late and early morning hours. We watch YouTube too. We see some of the crazy stuff that happens in these convenience stores and the gas stations. That's also going to be happening to you. So ask yourself that question. Is that something that you want to deal with in your life? And ask your seller, have they had any issues where they have had to call the police? And after that, Google the address of the business and see if any crime reports come up. Oftentimes they will. Now, there's over 7,000 robberies every year at gas stations, over 15,000 at convenience stores, which is a disproportionate number in relation to other businesses. So that's one thing that you have to consider. Is this a lifestyle that you want to be involved in? In many situations, we find that franchising model works. In my opinion, gas is not one of them. In fact, you're at the mercy of buying only one company's gas at a fixed price, being unable to shop for better pricing. You're stuck with every promotion that they decide on, as well as having to pay these franchise royalties and these fees with your already slim margins that we just discussed. Being profitable in that type of situation can be difficult. Next one up is environmental issues. And this is a problem that is specific to gas stations. Are the tanks leaking? Are they double walled? If so, the cost of cleanup, if there are any problems, can be very costly. Unwary buyers many times find themselves on the hook for huge bills because they only chose to survey the assets that were above the ground. Always check the tanks, ask about the tanks. You're also at the mercy of potential construction, and some unethical sellers pull a fast one. After determining that these weeks or months of construction that are coming up is going to make their location inaccessible, they put it on the market instead. So always check with the local Department of Transportation prior to making an offer on any gas station, or any business for that matter, and make sure that there's no construction in the near future. That's not to say that it couldn't happen at any time. Gas stations are very vulnerable to that type of construction. Now, in closing, yes, I fully understand that gas stations and convenience stores can potentially be good businesses and good money makers. In these videos, I like to provide the negative side as well, because we all know that the sellers are only providing you with the good side of the story. So we like to give you both sides, and at that point you can make an educated decision based on all the facts. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like things like this, and leave your business and franchising questions down below. Thanks for watching.